Welcome to the Builders Podcast, episode 96, Unified Toolkit for WordPress launched. The vision, the journey, and what's next. Before we jump into this episode, please subscribe to this podcast, hit that notification bell if you're on YouTube, and after a listen, please give us a thumbs up, like, and share, if we've earned it. With your help, we can reach more people and deliver these valuable from the trenches lessons to those that need it. Enjoy the episode. We did it. Unified Toolkit is public. It's launched. It's officially launched. Actually, the day I'm releasing this episode. The week before was Black Friday and Thanksgiving, and so it technically was live then and was announced to my list and to all my friends. But the real fun begins today as of this publishing. Unified Toolkit, if you don't know, has been something that has been on my mind. I've been planning and thinking about and talking about for probably 2.5 years. I've always had this idea about creating a toolkit to build WordPress sites based on what we're doing in my agency. Basically, what we do, besides, well, we do a bunch of things. We maintain websites. We do pretty much everything, like on web design and development. We're pretty full service. But one of the things in there that we do is we build sites for others, design and develop websites, namely in WordPress. And we've always had our own in-house boilerplate, our own template theme for WordPress. It's something that I started building themes a decade ago, and about 2014-15, I helped build this framework for what turned into what was called Hexeter, which was a WordPress theme marketplace, which we phased out last year, I believe, for reasons. But that framework was adapted when I started this agency to build sites for individual businesses and stuff. So it was a little different, but kind of rebuilt for that purpose. And that's what I had been using. And it had Bootstrap baked in, which is a responsive framework to build websites or web pages or whatever. But that was baked into our WordPress themes and just our way of doing things. But recently, earlier this year, WordPress launched full site editing, which means everything's a block now on a website. And so everything, you like dragging blocks into the web page to build stuff, build your content out, images, menus, logos, footers, headers, everything. And so I had kind of been waiting for that to happen to really do Unified Toolkit. So because we're using all this stuff in-house, my thought process is, why not share that with the world? You know, we're building it. We have this great framework. Why should we just keep it to ourselves, right? And I love the idea of giving back to the freelance and agency community, beyond just other web designers, developers, but also marketing agencies and stuff that want to leverage this toolkit in order to build sites for their clients. So they actually have something to market too. But I also kind of like the idea of keeping in the forefront of WordPress, where it's going. And it's not that we can't still do things the classic way, or we don't work with websites that do. It's just we want this as an option for our potential clients. So through this year, it finally started to really gel. I got all the team on board. I literally have, the framework is actually a theme and then plugins, a suite of plugins. Unified blocks, unified tweaks, unified email capture. For starters, they may grow over time. The features within those may grow over time. But those 3 plugins and the theme is what creates the framework. So you can literally just install the theme, install those plugins, and you're out of the gates. Then you just take that theme. Well, the theme is designed to be a foundation. It's not a complex, crazy theme like you would find on ThemeForest or something like that. It's just literally a framework, a boilerplate. It's not fancy. But it's structured in a way where now somebody with the skills can come in and actually build themselves out a nice site, because you can use anything you want. You can use our blocks. You can use third-party blocks. You can create your own custom blocks, and then you can style the site however you want. So the idea is you design something, you have a designer design your website, and then that can be translated onto our framework. That's what we do, and that's what we're going to show people what to do. Right now, what we have launched is really just the framework, and there's documentation on how to get going with that. But really, it does take some skill in the back end to actually, build the site, translate a design to that framework and stuff. And over time, we're going to be providing a lot more training and help in that regard as well. I'll get into kind of the details there. But I'm excited because, I've had this crazy idea for 2.5 years, and I was really, really determined to get it out, to launch it. But it's a little more complicated than any product I've done in the past in terms of just the scope of it and figuring out how to do it. But also, I had to do it while running an agency that's growing. I was actually just running my numbers with my agency, and we're going to probably land at about a 40% growth this year, which is pretty good for a business in this day and age. For any business would probably be happy in our 4th year. So if we can keep that going and grow another 40, I was actually figuring out, when will I hit $1 million agency? It won't take that many years if I keep spinning at 50% growth, 50% growth each year. That's a nice little pace. Anyway, I digress. But the agency's growing, and there's a lot of stuff we're doing. We have a really good client base, and we have agency partnerships where we do a lot of work for other agencies. So we have a lot going on. And what's happened over time is various phases of that, or stages, or times, or time frames, we've gotten crazy, right? We get a new client, we get a new relationship of some sort, or a new project, a new website to do, or something happens where things had to be delayed. And I had this thing that I've said many times over, in the context of business, agency first, right? Whatever we're doing, what other products we're doing or whatever, the agency has to come first. That's the core. And that's where our revenue, a good portion of our revenue comes from the agency. So that has to be good, solid, and everything has to be working well. Everyone's got to be happy. Clients have to be happy. We have to be happy. Everyone has to be happy. The team has to be happy. But outside of that, then we can start testing and taking some risks and trying different things. But we always got to come back to that core. So it has taken a while. There was delays. And along the way, I always kind of put it out there, and it's kind of, it's kind of my way to motivate myself by telling the world what I'm doing. It's a little secret tactic. That's kind of the world is my accountability partner, my list. Everyone, my team, we're doing this, even though it's been a couple of years, we're doing it. And if I keep telling people that, I know I'm going to eventually have to deliver. And so we finally have, the team has. I could have done this by myself. I have too much going on. But it's just been really, really fun. And one of the things, it's funny, because I was thinking about it this past day. Yesterday was kind of the official day it went live. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? If I sell no product here, if I sell no memberships, or whatever you want to call them, if I don't sell anything, I'm good. Because you know what? I met my goal. It took me 2.5 years. Maybe my agency is the only one that benefits from this. Because here's the thing. And I've been saying this also forever. It doesn't matter. This is our framework to build sites for clients. So it doesn't matter if I sell it to the general public or the general public even wants it, because we're going to use it. And we make pretty good money per website. So it's going to definitely pay for itself. All the effort that we put into this, we're going to be building those sites for others. And next year, we are actually going into a new niche or vertical, whatever you want to call it. It's basically the insurance niche. I've talked about that here. And we're going to start building sites for insurance agencies, and maybe that grows from there. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of layers to that. We're going to get our foot in the door and then build on it. And we're doing that because I have an insurance background a few decades ago. So I know some people in insurance biz and know a bit about insurance agencies and how they operate, what they need, and what their focus is. So I'm bringing all that to the table. And actually, good news is that I may actually be closing our first client next month, December 2022, I think. We'll see. I haven't told them the price yet. But it's somebody that I know. We may be taking over some things for them. They have somebody else helping them, but hopefully I can talk them into our toolkit. But so that kind of starts everything, though. It's reaching out to people I know, doing a little marketing that way, a little word of mouth, and I mean, even he was like, this is a friend of mine that I used to actually babysit his agency years ago. We had like a little agency partnership back then too, because I used to sell insurance, and I would sell some insurance through his agency I couldn't offer through my agency. So we kind of worked together. But so we've stayed friends over the years, and he's my insurance agent. Now that I'm not an insurance agent, he's an insurance agent and takes care of my stuff. But we were talking over some beers the other week, or like a month ago or something, and he's like, he's like, you should go after insurance agencies. You know the industry and everything. It's like, why aren't you doing that? I'm like, yeah, you're right. But this is a great way we do a lot of stuff, as I think I mentioned earlier. We do a lot of stuff. Maybe I didn't mention earlier. We do a lot of stuff, maintenance, and we're in a variety of niches. We do design work, web design. We do all of that stuff. A lot of e-commerce work lately, a lot of WooCommerce. We're doing all this stuff. But one of the things we really want to do is build sites, do brand new sites, design, or, well, I guess could replace the site. But the whole process from wireframe to mockup to translation to building the back ends to going live, setting up the server and going live. That whole thing. We like to do that whole thing, be part of that whole process. But the way we're set up now and what we have and what we get, it's not always like that. We do get those, but not on the volume that I'd like. So if we can pinpoint and really whittle out a little bit of get some of that, a piece of that market, that will help us. That'll just be part of that package. And hopefully it'll be easier for us. There's a lot of reasons we're doing this. It's going to be easier for us to market and target that, that industry or agencies and stuff. And so we're going to have a selling machine that goes out and does this. But then that's our avenue to build those sites and use this framework. And I figure it's all circular, right? We're using this framework for ourselves. And then if we can go out and successfully go out and use this framework to build sites for other agencies and use that as kind of a case study, then I can come back to the people that, I'm marketing Unified Toolkit to and be like, hey, we did it in this niche. You go out and do it in that niche. So hopefully it all works together, but it's all kind of wrapped up together. And again, hopefully we'll make some sales. but it's really geared. I didn't gear this for just a business to come along and take it and use it. It's actually is designed for agencies and freelancers. Not that a business couldn't come along and get it and use it themselves and figure it out, but that's really who I'm marketing it to. It's just really to help others that, maybe they don't want. Maybe they want to learn how to do full site editing sites, and they want an easy framework to do that. All that. So that's where we're at. It's really exciting. So the way I am kind of rolling this out is just kind of a very soft launch. I'm not like shouting to the rooftops. I don't have any partners that are launching for me. Not that they couldn't come along yet, but I literally have so much going on right now. We have like a couple agency partners we have a new one that we're starting to do work for. I don't know where that's going, but we're starting out doing quite a bit. And I have another one that has a whole pipeline, a pretty good pipeline already of stuff, large projects for us to do and take on. Where I'm actually, between those two alone, I'm probably going to be adding another resource, another full-time developer. And so there's a lot. That's on top of everything else we're already doing. So there's a lot. So I don't have time to really come up with a strategy and system to go out and try to get business and all this stuff. Freemius even has like a Black Friday deal where they get everybody. That's who we sell. That's the cart we use. And they have this Black Friday deal every year. You can apply to like be on this Black Friday deal page and all that. And I was really hoping this year I would get there, but I'm like, whatever. I just missed it. I'm just like, this is just right after. Like, okay, there's always next year. But it is what it is. But I did send out a Black Friday deal to my list. And I don't know if anyone will take me up on it. I actually don't know on my list. This has been something I've been talking about for a few years. I get, several hundred people open my emails every time I send out. That doesn't mean any of them are going to be in that position or be in that spot or be the perfect market fit for what I'm doing here. There's no guarantees there. Could be nobody. Well, I know at least one. But there could be just one. But it doesn't matter. So the plan is, doing that for my list is because they're my list. They've been with me for years. Actually, were a lot of people from that list actually did buy Hexer themes years ago. And so they followed me to doing this. And then next week or the day I'm publishing this, we're going to announce it publicly. It's just going to be an announcement on social media. Hey, it's there. Hopefully some people will just take out. So there's two parts to the offer. There's actually the full toolkit with the plugins, and then everything else we're going to be eventually provide there. But then it's also, you can get the actual the block theme free. You got to I'm doing it through Freemius. I have it set up as a coupon. The coupon's right there, 100% off. Boom. So people can actually get, kind of take it for a trial, and see what it's all about. Have it forever if they want. But that'll be all available right away. And then I will start there's some design assets. So part of the idea with Unified Toolkit is we have, in-house designers and myself and one other, and we're creating these design assets. So the idea here, like the Unified Blocks theme or Unified Blocks plugin, has design sections for blocks. Those are going to be available in like Adobe XD and Photoshop. So somebody could think about it this way. So somebody basically could be like, oh, we provide them all the design assets. They build out their pages, and then they can just use our plugin or our theme to translate that, they might have to use other types of blocks or design their own blocks and stuff. But that's the idea, is to provide some design assets that can be used in the actual theme. So I've been doing that, and then training. There's a bunch of ideas I have around actually providing training specifically to freelancers and agencies to kind of show them how we sell. How we're able to sell block themes, how we're able to sell themes in general, websites in general, and what we all do there. And so that's something that probably is like a 2023 thing. Now that it's out, now that it's launched, now that it exists, now I can start to build on it. We'll also be doing adding features to the plugins. The plugins, there's some good features there, but we have more planned, more ideas. So we'll not try, but we'll over time whittle out time to improve the theme, or improve the plugins, improve the theme. The theme isn't going to change that much, I don't think. There may be other things we build into the theme, but the block theme is pretty basic because the front end, everything is blocks. So the theme itself now is just basically a framework. It's just a container for blocks. There's things we do to it to help make it easier to deliver that, and like sample content and stuff is in there, but then the training and stuff, we're going to be doing all of that stuff, where I'm going to, in between all the other 90,000 things I'm doing. But the goal this year, and I don't know if I'm going to do an episode the end of the year episode or not. We're almost to 100 here, so might reach that before the end of the year. But the goal was by the end of this year to have everything built. And then in 2023 onward, we're just building on that foundation and marketing, sales. We may even do a little advertising next year. That's why I'm not worried about Unified Toolkit. I'm going to start actually doing some promotions. The big goal, our goal this year, going into this year, was to focus double, triple, quadruple down on networking. I did that, especially earlier in the year, but as the year went on, again, it works. So, and it's not the first year I've been doing it. That's why things are scaling up and we're growing. But next year, the focus is list building. So I'm going to get all of our list building in a good place. These websites all in a really good place. Build follow-ups and all that, and then do some promotions and really start to focus on that part of things. It's like I feel like the last few years it's just been about building. Thus the Builders podcast. But now once you build it, now what? Well, now you got to actually shout it out, from the rooftops that you have something. But I think, my grand vision with the Unified Toolkit and the Builders.fm, the Builders podcast, mattlevenhagen.com, which is kind of my blog, and then Unified Web Design is at the core again, and then some of the other mini sites. My idea with that is this is an ecosystem that all kind of feeds in and out of itself, into itself. It's circular, right? Unified Web Design, we build sites using the Unified Toolkit. Unified Toolkit leverages the three plugins that we have. They have little standalone mini sites for each plugin. mattlevenhagen.com, there'll probably be a lot more content and training that will probably lead back to what I'm doing on Unified Web Design and Toolkit. Podcast is our way. It's a great networking tool for us, build a little community around that, and also helps us promote what we're doing. And we can talk about, like on today, I can talk about what we're doing, and that's part of the Builders podcast. I'm able to do it from my perspective, from doing solo episodes and stuff, because I am in the trenches. I've got these other businesses, I got services and products. I can talk to both things, and have a lot of great conversations on this podcast. So all those things, it creates that, it's that grand vision that's finally coming together. I'm not at all right now worried about sales or launches or any of that stuff. It's built. And again, in 2023, we'll go out and we'll start marketing this and just continue doing what we're doing. But I'm excited. I'm excited to launch into the insurance agency market, see what I can do there and have some fun with that in the coming years. And we'll just see where it all goes. Again, the agency's doing fantastic. I'm having more meetings than I've ever had in my life. I actually am partnered with an agency that's local here in the Milwaukee area. They're a large agency. And so I'm doing even in-person meetings with them and with clients. So I've got kind of a local footprint now. But we still have the kind of national, other parts of the country and stuff where I have relationships with other agencies and older relationships. We have some great direct clients. We're going to continue to build that side of things. I think we're just set up. We're ready to go. And the team has been a big critical part of this as well, is building and developing that team. It's interesting. In a few days on December 1st, my first real employee started, Krista. And Krista's still here. She helps build Bootstrap. She translates design to Bootstrap. That's like her whole thing. And she does that most particularly for one client that we've had for longer. And so that was that first resource, that first team member that we added to Unified Web Design. From there, we added another and then another and another. I'm looking at bringing on probably our 6th full-time person. I think we need another developer right now. And then, so the team is in a really solid spot, and we have the ability to kind of be elastic in that we can add resources if we need to, depending on what it is. I don't know how big that team grows. I never had a vision of having a gigantic team, but it'll grow as it grows, just as long as we can keep control of everything. But we got a great team. We got a solid foundation for a team and some really great relationships to help us with resources and stuff. So that's in a really, really good spot. And that's going to take us into 2023. As things scale up, the more we do, that'll continue. There's other things I want to do around that. I'm at a weird spot in my agency where I literally do not see us adding another client or agency without probably increasing our price, our cost, our price considerably, because I think there's only the only way that we can take on another client, or let's say another agency or whatever, is if we start building, kind of replicating the team we have. Like the team we have now is really good with what we have now. It's solid. But if I start adding another, I'm going to have to build another team around that, which is doable. And that's what I would exactly what I would pitch, right? So we can shuffle resources in and out of teams, but we need to start building like a secondary team if we start to expand in other areas. And the reason why I say it that way is because I need to hire somebody that can help me manage that. Matt, see I'm kind of the clog in the drain. Maybe not the clog, but I'm definitely a bottleneck. So, but I only have so many things that I can do. I can't replicate myself into some AI robot and just scale myself up infinitely. I can't. And I am still, even though I'm getting more help, I've created a new role this year around project management and helping me with tasks and keeping an eye on things and stuff. Even though that's all built, it's still Matt's doing a lot. So I'm still managing a lot. So I have to actually get somebody that's more of a manager in a place, in a position. And so there's going to be some more investment there, which means that for us to really go to another level, we're going to have to really look at our pricing. Everyone probably that we have now is kind of grandfathered in, but we need to kind of go to another level. And that's a pricing discussion, but I don't even know why I'm talking about that right now. We're just going with the flow. This is not scripted. But it all kind of fits into this, right? It's this, I had a kind of, just like I have a vision for Unified Toolkit, I had a vision for this agency. And the vision was really to create a boutique agency and not worry about, having 1,000 employees someday. But as I see things growing, I see the potential to build out, but it has to be in a controlled way. And it has to be, I have to build a team, a management team, to help me do that. That's kind of the next stage in growth where I need to actually have help. I can get resources all day long. I can go out and find good resources for development, for design, for, administrative stuff, whatever. I can get resources all day long, but there's still a point. Somebody has to manage them all, right? I have a little bit of help with that, but that is something that I think going into 2023 and beyond, that's a part of that. If we're really going to scale into something, if something happens where we get a larger client, that's probably going to have to be something I really focus on going forward. Hopefully, the idea here with having products now too is eventually that will turn into a revenue source where that can help finance, our team as well, and have developers that are dedicated to that, or that can help, pay for some more developers, some better developers and stuff. So a lot of ideas I'm just throwing out there, but it's kind of where we're at. I guess maybe this is turned into a end of the year, where are we going next kind of discussion. It really hasn't it? I guess the Unified Toolkit in a way is kind of the capper of the year, capper on the year. I can't talk today for some reason. The capper on the year. It's like, this is it. We did it. We had a successful year. This was a big goal this year. The goal was also to get more business. We definitely got that. And now we actually just do have to finish up the website where we're going to sell to the insurance industry. We're doing that hopefully in December, so that by January 1st, we're out of the gates. Like I said, we're done building, and we'll see where the future takes us. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging in there and putting up with me talking about Agency First a lot and Unified Toolkit forever. It's finally here. You can finally see what we're doing. We'll be talking a lot more about it, from the trenches as we build things out and add things, and I'll actually be able to maybe share how it's doing at various points in the future. Hopefully it'll be positive. It may be negative. I may say a year from now, I say we got like 5 users, and we'll have at least 5. I better have at least 5 users in a year. But I also will probably be able to say we've built, 20 websites next year with this framework. 50, 100, 500. I'll let you know. All right. Until next time, thanks for tuning in and putting up with me. Take care. That's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, please subscribe if you haven't already, and give us a thumbs up if we deserve it. If you want to comment on this episode's page, provide me with requests on topics for future episodes, or inquire about being a guest, please find your way to thebuilders.fm. You can contact me there or add a comment under these show notes. Now a word from our sponsor, my agency, Unified Web Design. We build custom websites, features, we maintain websites, we work with agencies to fulfill their web design and development needs, and more. If you're interested in our services or are looking for an agency to work with as a partner to build awesome sites for your clients, feel free to reach out to me at unifiedwebdesign.com. There's a handy contact me link at the top. Fill out that form and it will open a ticket, and that ticket will find its way to me. Thanks for joining me today. We'll see you next time.